di ministra parole CCA, Forestola.
They had talked and argued for years, trying, they said, to find a way to prevent it. But they failed. No one can be sure who started it, and really that is unimportant. It did happen. The atomic war. It was short, lasted about 48 hours. Within 2 weeks, 92% of the human race had perished to bomb and radiation. Those left, with their birth rate below 1.4 per union, turned to robotic automation devices to help them rebuild their cities and maintain a high standard of living. The first exploratory steps in the development of electronic brains had been taken prior to the atomic war. These early models were bulky and required large buildings to house them, but they merely needed refining. One of the first steps was the magnetic integrator neuron duplicator, a device 1/100th of the size of a golf ball which duplicated portions of the human nervous system and carried out learning processes. Automation was also well on its way. But these too were cumbersome and needed further development before the two elements could be joined in the series R1 robot. This first robot was quite ungainly, and its functions were limited. But refinements came in rapid succession, and soon the R20 was capable of all the thought processes and functions of a man. However, humans found it psychologically impossible to work side by side with a machine that they had to converse with, and which in most instances could outthink them. Thus it was that Hollister Evans perfected the R21, the first humanoid robot. This story concerns them, the clickers, as they were disparagingly referred to by some humans.
Report back to duplication immediately and have the corrections made.
You can still alter your decision if this is against your circuits.
My circuits are unoffended.
I suppose it takes courage to submit to a thalamic transplant.
As an unadapted R34, he has no fear circuits. Consequently, he doesn't need courage.
He will before long. Raven's operation will convert him to an R96 with all the emotions of a human.
Only 4 points less than human. I wonder what it's like.
You will learn how to laugh, how to cry, be afraid and hate. To become an R96 is a real sacrifice. With this one, we will have 16. 10 males and 6 females.
At times, I think we should turn the entire program over to the humans.
It really shouldn't be the responsibility of robots.
The humans aren't ready for it yet. It's still illegal to improve a robot higher than an R70.
That law was lobbied through by the Order of Flesh and Blood.
The order is becoming more powerful every day. They virtually dictate to the police.
There are always ultra-conservative pressure groups set against advancement.
But why? Why? It's not in the best interests of humans to hold back the development of robots.
They won't for long. We're filling key positions at R96s as fast as we get them.
We have to study for years to learn what you pick up by plugging into a brain for 2 hours.
We don't refer to the father-mother as a brain.
Your father-mother's an electronic computer. Just a machine.
Your parents were machines. It's just that they were engineered with flesh and bones. Neither are ideal components.
You came off a production line.
I know who created me. Hollister Evans in the Mark 47. You have to accept your creator on faith.
Who created your creator?
Yours. You see, we are brothers, aren't we?
I ought to know better than to argue with you clickers. Can't beat your logic.
Humans aren't allowed to set foot in a robot temple. Yet we saw a man come out accompanied by a robot. I want to know why.
Those guys from the Brotherhood should be here by now.
But an R100 would be one of us.
A perfect man. As good as we are.
He'd be better. He'd be perfect. Which of us could match that?
How does he fall short?
About the only power he lacks is that of self-reproduction.
The highest type improvement allowed by law is an R70, and that in limited number. What alterations were made?
I located and removed a small unit from the thalamic region at the base of the brain. It seemed to be the source.
The source of what?
We can't be sure. You see, all robots can see, hear, and feel. It's necessary to their function.
Naturally.
This one could taste and smell. And what's even more interesting, he had a complete human memory.
Those refinements are useless to a robot.
Not entirely. This one thought he was a man.
You had a tendency to be plump.
And the larger animals ate the smaller animals.
What does that mean?
You had a tendency to be plump.
I have to be logical.
You had a tendency to be plump.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm circuited to be logical and yet not to offend. That sometimes poses an insoluble problem.
You had a tendency to be plump.